With this video, I am going to show you how to access Microsoft Teams for your virtual learning through My School. And I'm going to take you through the program of Microsoft Teams and show you the features that you'll need to be using for success in your class this year. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to the St. Lucie Public Schools website, and you're going to want to click on Student Webmail here at the top of the page. Every student in St. Lucie County has a webmail address. Many of you used it in the spring semester, but I want to take you back here again and remind you of that. So when you click on Student Webmail, it's going to ask you for your username and your password. Your username is going to be your student identification number. Oftentimes we reference that as your 562 number. So you would enter your student ID number followed by the @ symbol, stlucieschools.org. So for example, 562-12345 at stlucieschools.org. That would be your username. Your password is going to be your lunch number. If you don't know your student ID number or your lunch number, you will need to contact your child's teacher to obtain that information. So once you've logged into your webmail service, I'm going to click over here into my email. You're going to open up, it's going to look like it's Microsoft Outlook. And you're going to want to click on these 9 dots in the upper left-hand corner. We often reference that as the waffle. When you click there, it shows you all the apps that you have access to, and one of them is going to be Teams. You would click on the Teams button, and that is going to be how you open Microsoft Teams. Now, it will ask you, sometimes it will ask you, do you want to use the web version, or do you want to actually download the program to your computer? You have the option to do that as well, to where you could actually open Microsoft Teams through your taskbar on your computer. But if all else fails, you come into your student webmail, click on the waffle, click on Teams. It's going to open up and look like this. You're going to see you still have that waffle in the corner where you could hop back into your Outlook. You can always navigate back and forth between your Microsoft programs with that. All right, so in Microsoft Teams, there's really 3 buttons here on the left that we're going to talk about that you're really going to utilize the most. First is going to be the teams. Teams are the groups that you are part of. So your child is going to be added to a series of teams for each of their courses. Might look a little different depending on your child's grade level, what school they go to. For example, my courses, I teach 3 math courses. So I will probably have, 3 different teams, naming them first period, second period, third period. Some teachers might assign a color, however they need to differentiate it. But your child will be part of teams for their different courses. Within those teams is your child's entire class. So really think about the teams as a group messaging system. If I were to click on one of my teams, what you would see would be a group chat history. And that is for everybody within that team. So if your child clicks on one of their teams and adds a message in there, everyone within that team will see it. So it's a group chat feature, including the teacher. So that would be a good place to go. If there's a question in regards to maybe an assignment that maybe might benefit the whole class. Or sometimes the teachers might be posting announcements in there, information, a video, a visual. So every day your child's going to want to come into Microsoft Teams and they're going to want to go into each of their teams and see if there's any new messages that might be important information for them. Also on the left-hand side is the chat. This is where you could have individual chats, so chats that are not within your whole team. When you click on the chat feature, you can either select individual people to send chat messages to, or you can make a chat group with just individuals that you choose. Teachers might utilize this feature just to send one-on-one messages to students. If a student needs individual help, they might work with them through the individual chat. It might be a scenario where they're doing a small group support. So a lot of features might be going on through the chat, but that's more for the individual chats, the teams. This is where you're going to have your group chats. right? And every day your child should check both those locations. I would say multiple times a day. At any time, they could be receiving a message either through the group chat or the individual chat from one of their teachers that they might need to see, they might need to respond to. So they're definitely going to want to be looking at those locations multiple times throughout the day. The other location is the calendar. This is how you actually join your class session each day. Right? This is, the students have a schedule to follow. All class sessions are live sessions with the teacher. So if you have reading class at 8:45 in the morning, you're probably going to want to log on to Teams with a few minutes to spare so you can make sure you're on time to class. Attendance is taken every day through each class. So we want to be prompt and on time. If need be, I would recommend maybe setting alarms on a cell phone or on an alarm clock just to remind the child, oh, I have another class starting. You know, maybe they're coming from lunch, their lunch break. Maybe they need to switch to resource class. You know, so they might need reminding prompts throughout the day so that they can be on time. So when your child clicks on your calendar, this is where all of their class sessions will be shown once the teacher creates the meeting groups. So I created a math class. I just labeled it math class third period. This little symbol that you see here, that's showing it's reoccurring, right? You have math class every day. So I have this math class, I think I set this schedule, it's 1:30 to 2 o'clock. So a couple minutes before 1:30, they're going to want to come on their calendar and they're going to find their course that they're about to join the class for. And there's going to be a button right here that would say join now. And they click it. Now you have joined that live session. Now, if the teacher is not joined yet, then the student will be placed in what's called a virtual waiting room. Basically, they've joined the session. However, they can't interact with anybody within the session until the teacher joins and actually accepts everyone into that session. And then class begins. Your child will be communicating, working with the teacher through the webcam, through the microphone. It is a live class session in which they will need to participate in, working through their computer. It's just as if they were in the classroom, but they have a computer in front of them instead. Now, there may be times where the teacher says, you know, okay, that's all the lesson for today. You can go ahead and log off and you're going to work independently on your assignment. So it may not be that your child is actually on the computer all day long. It just depends on the individual teachers and what their course load requires. It could also be a scenario where the teacher says, okay, I want you to log off the session for 15 minutes and work on this assignment and then come back in and we're going to go over them together. So they would leave the session. There's a big red hang up button that they would click on. And then in 15 minutes, they'd come right back into Teams, click on their calendar, and they can join the class session again. All right, so the Teams button, this is where you have your group chat with your entire class. The chat button, that's where you can do more individualized chats, and students are going to want to check both these locations each day. And then the calendar, this is where you're going to go to actually join your class sessions each day.